Hello and welcome back to the Fellow Carer's Kitchen with me, Mark Francis, your fellow carer. Today I've got a perennial favourite for you, and once you've made this, you'll never buy it in the shops again. It's homemade pasta sauce, black olives. Here's what you'll need. Olive oil, 1 red onion, 1 garlic, 2 jars of passata, tomato puree, 1 jar of roasted pickled peppers, 1 jar of black olives, mixed herbs, tarragon, salt and pepper. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop our red onion. Now, you're going to need a nice sharp knife for this one because we're going to be cutting this onion really finely. Because what we want to do is we want to put this into the frying pan and we want the whole thing to cook down really, really nicely. So I suggest that what you do with this is you give it a good old slice and dice so that you've got nice small pieces of onion to throw into that pan. So we do that with the first half of our onion and we grab the other one, we do exactly the same thing. This forms the foundation of our pasta sauce. So it's really important to get this one right. So we chopped up those onions. So we grab ourselves a couple of cloves of garlic and we do exactly the same thing. And again, we're going to slice and dice the garlic just like we did with the onion, so that we've got a nice, rich, flavoursome base for our sauce that doesn't take forever to cook. Now, once that's done, we're going to grab our black olives. And for this dish, where I've used 2 jars of passata, I'm going for around about 12 to 14 olives. So you want to grab your olives and you want to slice them one by one. And then once you've done that, you're going to do the same thing that you did with the onions and the garlic. You're just going to run that knife through it, giving it a good old chop, make it nice and fine, because what you don't want is you don't want big lumps of olive in your sauce, in your pasta sauce. So as you can see here, I'm just giving it a good old chop, and now that is done. All right, it's now time to add our roasted peppers. And this adds a lovely dimension to the sauce. It's flavoursome, it's quite sweet as well. And you just don't want to miss out on this one. You don't want to leave this out of the recipe because it really makes a difference. So we're slicing it and we're dicing it and we're going to add that to our mixture. Once that's done, we're going to put the saucepan on the stove. This is an electric hob and I've turned this one up to 7, which should be just about right. We're going to check the heat there, make sure it's the right temperature. That's perfect. And now we're going to grab a handful of onion and we are going to throw that in the pan. There we go, sizzling away beautifully. Get all the onion in there. And we are also going to put in there our garlic. There we go. Give that a good old shake about. Get it sort of covering the pan fairly evenly. Oh, smells delicious. And what we want to do is we don't want to overcook it, but we want the onion to be soft because we don't want to be crunching bits of onion in our pasta sauce. So what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for the bits of onion to start going a kind of golden brown in the pan. And that will tell you that you're just about there in terms of how long you've cooked it. All right, so that's what we're going to do. It's going to give it a little push around the pan, make sure it's cooked all over. And then we're going to add around about 3 tablespoons more of olive oil. It looks like a lot of olive oil, but I tell you what, when you have eat pasta sauce and you've come to the end of the bowl and you see that sort of ready golden sauce on the plate, well, that's what this olive oil is. That's why we add that much olive oil, and that's what gives the sauce its richness and its smoothness. So we're cooking the onions and we're cooking the garlic in what amounts to around about 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and now we're going to add our passata. So we go grab a jar of passata, toss that in, And what we're going to do is we're going to just rinse those jars out, as you can see there, as if by magic. Rinse them out, tip a bit of water in there and give that a good stir so that the oil, the passata, the onions and the garlic all mixes together. It's looking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and it smells great already. Okay, so we've done that. It's time to add the olives and the roasted peppers. So in they go. And with these lot, we're going to make sure that we give the whole thing a good stir so that our ingredients are evenly distributed around the pan. So, time for tarragon and mixed herbs. First with the mixed herbs. I tell you, this really adds a dimension to the sauce. Italians would never do this at all. They don't put herbs in their pasta sauce, but I like to do it. You don't have to, but I like to add some mixed herbs and some tarragon as I'm doing right now. It adds this beautiful edge to the sauce. It's really hard to describe. You've got to taste it to believe it, but you won't regret it. So once we put those in there, we're just going to give this thing another mix around. Just like that, as Tommy Cooper would say. What we want to do now is we want to add some salt to season it up. And we're going to add some pepper. There we go. And now we give a good stir. Just stir that seasoning in. Give it a good stir in. There we go. All right, it's time to add some tomato puree just to thicken the whole sauce up and make it even richer. I'm adding about 1/4 of a tube of puree here, and that should be enough. So now we just need to make sure that all that puree is being mixed in nicely. And that's it. We're now going to turn the heat down to around about number 3 on the hob. And we're going to let that sit and simmer for 20 minutes. And once that's done, you have got yourself an amazing homemade pasta sauce. Absolutely delicious. And there it is, served with pasta and cheese. Absolutely delightful. You will delight your clients, delight your family, and delight your friends. There it is, a homemade pasta sauce with olives. Once you make this delicious recipe, you'll never want to buy it in the shops again. You just need olive oil, a red onion, garlic, 2 passata jars, 1 jar black olives, 1 jar of roasted peppers, mixed herbs, tarragon, salt and pepper. Hey, if you like this video, please click that thumbs up. If you want to join the Fellow Carer family, hit subscribe and also hit that notification bell so you're notified of upcoming videos. Well, that's all for now. This has been Mark Francis, your fellow carer, saying ciao for now.